Okay, so we're going to make an addition tester. So the first thing we want to do is to generate a random number between 1 and 12. And we want to do that 2 times, so I get 2 pick a random number functions. Pick a random number between 1 and 12. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable, and I will call this number 1. And I'll make another variable, and I'll call this number 2. I will set number 1 to a random number between 1 and 12, and I will set number 2 to a random number between 1 and 12. The next thing I want is for my sprite to ask, and I want it to say, what is number 1 plus number 2? Question mark. So that's a little bit complicated. I need to get the sprite to use a whole bunch of joins. So I need to start by saying join what is. Now I need to use another join because I can only join 2 things together at once. What is number 1 join space plus space join number 2 question mark. Now I'll pop that into my block there. And so at the moment, my sprite should say this. Okay, just run a couple of tests and that seems to work. I might just leave a space after the is. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I want to see if, now I want to know what the answer is. So if my answer, coming back here, so I've gone to operators, I go back to sensing. If my answer equals, now I need to come back to operators again. If my answer equals number 1 plus number 2, right? So if they are equal, then I want my sprite to say, well done, for 2 seconds. Or else I'd like it to say, sorry. Alright. I'll add a when the green arrows click to start. And so when I click this, that should work. If I type in the correct answer, the sprite says I'm correct. If I type the incorrect answer, it should say sorry. Now another interesting feature that I can add to this is I can put that into a loop. And I can loop that program 10 times. Alright. Another extra feature that I can put in is I can add a score feature. So I can set my variable, score. I start outside the loop, I set score to 0. And then what I need to do is inside the loop, if the user gets the correct answer, I say change score by 1. And then the last thing I do is I say, and I'll use a join here, your score out of 10 was, and I'll pop in score. Okay, 13. Get some wrong. Wrong again. One wrong. One wrong. Score out of 10 was 5.